بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم باب بأي أسباب كانوا ينصرون بنصرة غيبية وكيف كانوا يتعلقون بها ويلفتون النظر عن الأسباب المادية والأمتعة الفانية تحمل المكروه والشدائد حديث ابن عوف رضي الله تعالى عنه في أن الصحابة وجدوا الخير في المكروه والشدائد. أخرج البزاز عن عبد الرحمن بن عوف رضي الله تعالى عنه قال نزل الإسلام بالكره والشدة فوجدنا خير الخير في الكراهة فخرجنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من مكة فجعل لنا في ذلك العلاء والظفر وخرجنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إلى بدر على الحال التي ذكر الله عز وجل وإن فريقا من المؤمنين لكارهون يجادلونك في الحق بعدما تبين كأنما يساقون إلى الموت وهم ينظرون وإذ يعدكم الله إحدى الطائفتين أنها لكم وتودون أن غير ذات الشوكة تكون لكم والشوكة قريش فجعل الله لنا في ذلك العلاء والظفر فوجدنا خير الخير في الكره. So this is chapter بأي أسباب كانوا ينصرون بنصرة غيبية, with which means Sahaba they had unseen assistance, unseen help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with which means and which amal. وَكَيْفَ كَانُوا يَتَعَلَّقُونَ بِهَا, and how they connected with those amal and those qualities and those means, and how they avoid and ignore the means of the dunya and the temporary stuff. They ignore those stuff and they pay attention, they hold attention towards the amal and towards the qualities which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala love. So first of all, the qualities, the first quality and the first means how to achieve the unseen help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what? Tahammulul makruhi wa shada'id. Enduring hardship and difficulties in path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in obeying the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, enduring difficulties and hardship. This is the first of all means how to achieve the unseen assistance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abdurrahman bin Auf radiyallahu ta'ala. Abdurrahman bin Auf radiyallahu ta'ala, he said, Nazal al-Islamu bil-kurhi wa shidda. The Islam revealed with hardship and difficulties. This is a sign of the haqq. Whatever things are haqq and true, is full of the hardship and full of the difficulties. Because batil always sweet and tasty. And haqq is full of the hardship and difficulties. So Abdurrahman bin Auf radiallahu anhu said, the Islam came with hardships and difficulties. فَوَجَدْنَا خَيْرَ الْخَيْرِ فِي الْكَرَاهَةِ. We achieve all kind of the khair, all type of the goodness, like cream of khair and cream of goodness, in unpleasant things, which is your nafs doesn't like, which your nafs doesn't like, and which is your nafs dislike. So all of the khair we achieve through this way. Now whenever we face and our nafs doesn't like, and we obey the command of Allah, we achieve through this way unseen assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the incident he mentioned, we went with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Makkah to Medina. When they are migrating, that time they feel very difficult, because this is their home. And it's not easy. Whoever left their home and home country, is not easy. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command is what? Now you have to leave the Makkah and go to the Medina. So in obeying this command, they entering difficulties and hardship, but they obey it. So what happened? In the Medina, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spread the Islam to entire world. They said, فَجُعِلَ لَنَا فِي ذَلِكَ الْعَلَاءُ وَالظَّفَرُ. فَجُعِلَ لَنَا فِي ذَلِكَ الْعَلَاءُ وَالظَّفَرُ. Through this way, because we obeyed the command of Allah, we did not see what our nafs want, but we obeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the victory and success in Medina. And another thing, he mentioned another incident is, we went with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Badr. And Badr, before going to the Badr, the battle of the Badr, Sahaba, they are very few of the number. Very few of the people, 313. 313. And the enemy is, full number of the people, big group. So they said, we doesn't want to go before. Our nafs doesn't like, because even they are Sahaba, but they also human being. So our nafs doesn't want. But we don't see what our nafs want, but we obey what Allah said and the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and we face, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the victory and success. Why? Because we entering hardship and difficulties for what? In the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the means. This is such a means we can have the unseen assistance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So big things mentioned. So because just after Maghrib I mentioned, because we are living in the wall, and this wall is different situations coming. Sometimes situation is in favor of you, sometimes against you, sometimes make you happy, sometimes make you sad, sometimes make you poor, and sometimes make you rich. A lot of conditions. So what is our responsibilities? Our responsibility is to look the command of Allah and fulfill it. We don't look the condition what's going on. कि हम हालात को नहीं देखेंगे, कि हम हुक्म को देखकर चलेंगे. हम हुक्म को देखेंगे. We look only the command of Allah, because condition is changing. Hukum will never change. The hukum will never change. The amar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never change. The condition is changing. कभी summer, कभी rainy, or कभी जो है वो winter. No? But the salat is 5 times salat. Salat is 5 times. Winter, because of winter, not 4 times salat. Because of summer, not 3 times salat. The salat is 5 times. But our condition is coming and going. But hukum is the one, because we can solve all of the problems to fulfill the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Rasul. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq to act upon it. So there is some amal in the day, and there is amal in the night. Especially in the night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calling us to give whatever we want in the third night. Hal min mustaghfirin fa'aghfira lahu. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala making announcement. So we should wake up and ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The most important and the great thing is hidayat and guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us, for all of the humanity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq to it. إليك ربي فحببنا وفي أنفسنا لك ربي فذللنا وفي أعين الناس فعظمنا ومن سيء الأخلاق فجنبنا وعلى صالح الأخلاق فقومنا وعلى الصراط المستقيم فثبتنا وعلى الصراط المستقيم فثبتنا وعلى الأعداء أعدائك أعداء الإسلام فانصرنا اللهم انصرنا ولا تنصر علينا اللهم زدنا ولا تنقصنا اللهم أكرمنا ولا تهنا اللهم آثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا اللهم ول علينا خيارنا ولا تول علينا بذنوبنا شرارنا وصلى الله على النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وأمته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Okay, inshallah, there's some more we have, so we'll talk about next week, inshallah.